Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at another classic comic book, Marvel Team Up number 135 with Spider-Man and Kitty Pryde. Such a great issue. I remember being so excited when this came out as I was a huge X-Men and Kitty Pryde fan. Cannot wait to show it to you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into this. Alright, so Marvel Team Up. One of the greatest series published by Marvel, I feel. It initially ran 150 issues, so at 135, we're kind of coming into the tail end here, which is kind of weird because I remember this being one of me and my brother's favorite comic books that we read together. And it felt like they were really upping the ante around this point, and it was like, could not wait to see who was going to guest star with Spider-Man in the next issue. Marvel Team Up is such a great concept. It was a Marvel's, team up book that always had Spider-Man guest starring with another character from the Marvel Universe. Early issues were by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. I mean, some really great art and storylines came out of this. This cover is by Ron FRENZ, inked by Al Milgrom. Interesting to note that Kitty's in her, like, Ariel green costume here, which I feel like they tried to make it happen a lot more around the Marvel Universe at the time. I think that, the X-Men were super popular. Kitty was kind of all over the place with her costumes, and I think that this is the one that they were going to try to make stick during the Paul Smith run. And I think he only drew it himself, like one issue perhaps. But it didn't last very long, so I personally loved it, so I was very happy to see it here in this Marvel Team Up. Spider-Man's just such a classic Marvel character. I think this is drawn by Ron FRENZ, and he definitely has, like, the House Marvel style, kind of just, like, keeping it within classic comic book storytelling. A lot of people do love his art. I think I always sort of just took it for granted when it was kind of like more this less exciting, not John Byrne, not George Perez, not Art Adams kind of art, and more the house style. But I definitely have more appreciation for these kinds of artists now that my comic book art tastes have matured. So Bill Mantlo's story. Bill Mantlo, very prolific writer in comics in the 80s. Cloak and Dagger, Spider-Man, Alpha Flight, Hulk. I mean, he was had his stamp on everything. I mostly liked him as a writer. Hate what he did on Alpha Flight, but that's not a mystery to you if you watch my channel. Anyway, so Bill Mantlo's story, Ron FRENZ and Mike Esposito art, Joe Rosen letterer, G. Russos colorist, Tom DeFalco and Danny Fingereth editors, and Jim Shooter, Morlock. Oh yeah, this is taking place within the Morlocks. I mean, how cool was the Morlocks when Chris Claremont took the X-Men under the tunnels in New York and introduced this motley group of mutants living on the outskirts and just like self-exiled because they, don't fit into society, with most of their mutations being, deformities and physical mutations. That's funny. It's funny. I do give the X-Men credit. I was thinking about that. The all-new, all-different X-Men came around in, 1976, I guess. And, it introduced characters globally. So talk about inclusion, right? No longer 5 white kids from the Midwest or wherever the hell they were from, New York, I guess, upstate New York. Not sure where all the original X-Men come from, but, this was like the global X-Men, so they're going for that diversity here. And then, but I love that within, subcultures or whatever, like, the mutants are sort of, or the Morlocks are sort of like the lesser mutants in a way. I always thought it was kind of interesting how Chris Claremont was able to weave different things like that into the fiber of the, like the mutants' backstory and things like that. So this is kind of cool. I do have to say, like, I love, and that I think therein lies the magic of someone like Ron FRENZ. They just make it look so easy. They just make it look so effortless that, I mean, you've got 9 panels here, clear storytelling. It's very concise. It always bothered me that this was unfinished, Storm's headdress. I'm like, you get to draw Storm twice in one comic book, and you're not even gonna finish the headdress properly. Really irritated me. Anyway, I like that. That's a dynamic panel of her hanging up the phone. I mean, if you're gonna do action, do action. I have to say, like, I do appreciate that type of acting or storytelling in comic books where, I mean, sure, it's a little over the top, the slams, you know, sound effect, but that's like the beauty of comics, why they're fun. You know, you get the sound effects, you get the speech balloons, you get the dramatic caption narration. I mean, it's all part of the fun. Maybe, is it too corny? Is that why it fell by the wayside? I mean, I feel like, you know, a lot of this stuff disappeared to make comics more cinematic, maybe a little more sophisticated. But do comics really need to be more sophisticated? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that you're underestimating your audience a little bit there, people. I mean, I'm off on a tangent here. You know, Wolverine. Wolverine is so oversaturated that even now Spider-Man is going by the name Wolverine. Anyway, Spider-Man is just like probably drugged. Like, that's a nifty contraption. I mean, if you were gonna hold Spider-Man prisoner, you would want something like that, I feel. Kitty, she just cannot shake these Morlocks. I always kind of love this panel for obvious reasons. Like, it's very comedic. Like, Spider-Man, thank God for Kitty's phasing power, or else he would have kicked this door, like, right through her and, like, decapitated her with that door. And, I don't know, there's just something very comical about that. I mean, thank God she wasn't hurt. That is one ugly freaking Morlock right there. But I do admire the fact that she took the time to do this, like, intricate hairdo. Not she, they, he, anyway. I mean, who is next? Spider-Man, Wonder Man, man, oh man. How unfortunate that I don't have that one right in front of me, because that would be a fun follow-up right now. But hell, who knows? Maybe it'll show up in my pile. Anyway, so much fun. Spider-Man, Kitty Pryde, Bill Mantlo, Ron FRENZ. What more could you want? A rare appearance by Shadow Cat. Ooh, yeah, I think that's why Ariel went the wayside. Kitty went to Japan, became a ninja, and had to be a Shadow Cat. Ariel just didn't fit anymore. Anyway, it was fun while it lasted. One of the fastest growing characters in comic books, Kitty Pryde. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, share my content, and I'll bring you more later.